All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
You're all like in the zone?
I'm ready.
Okay.
You are now listening to the Backseat Critics, the movie review podcast.
And welcome back to the Backseat Critics. My name is Andrew. And over there, we've got a guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Cartier Bob.
Oh, jeez Louise, dude. Good grief.
I am Cartier Bob. I'm Cartier without any Cartier on.
Caviar Bob.
Yeah, hate me, you love me.
That is true. And today we're talking about a classic movie, classic Disney movie.
Classic.
It's at Caviar's request.
Cartier.
Cadaver's request. We're talking about the Goofy movie. It's an old classic Disney movie from the 90s. For those of us 90s kids.
Yeah. I've been telling them next time I get on here, we gotta, because they've been expanding. They've been doing all types of movies, and gotta bring them back to their roots.
Gotta go back to Disney at some point.
So I think this is a perfect, slow down from the Fast and the Furious.
Jeez, am I done with those?
Yeah. I
will take anything right now that is not Fast and Furious.
Yeah. I can only imagine. That's why RJ's been taking so many breaks.
Dude, we're like 8 movies in. I'm dying. I'm dying.
2 more to go.
Yeah. 3. 9, 10, Tokyo Drift.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
Anywho. Yeah, ew.
Send help.
Anyway. I arrived. I am here.
Thanks, Cadaver.
All might.
So today we're just going to dive right in. We're just going to do our 2-minute summary. We're going to do our quiz question. We're going to dive into some characters. Mm-hmm. We'll dive into scenes. Mm-hmm. We're going to dive into our what moments. Had to take a breath there. Did not have enough oxygen in my lungs for that. And then we'll wrap it up with some final thoughts and the answer to the quiz question. Do you want to take lead on this 2-minute summary?
Should I? Do you really want me to?
All right, folks, we're going to let the guests jump in on this 2-minute summary.
All right. Tell me when to go.
And go.
So,
you're doing great.
A coming-of-age story, adolescence at its finest, Boy Meets World Cartoon Edition. Boy wakes up, boy's tired of fucking school. He's tired of being at the bottom of the social ladder. And then, miraculously, he got this, what you call, in his chest, a heartbeat, and he has some heart. So, we have that part of the story.
Yeah, some what?
Some heart.
Oh.
And then the other part, we have a coming-of-age story of a father who wants to reach his adolescent son because of drugs, gang culture,
sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Exactly. So, how do you fit this all in one movie? I'm going to get real goofy about it. So, boy wants to impress girl. Father wants to impress son. Son gets suspended from school, gets a call. Bring, bring. If you keep doing this, your son's going to end up in the electric chair. Bzzzt. So what does any good parent do? Instead of taking him to therapy and talking to him, all right, let's do the runaround approach. Let's go on a father-son adventure.
That's healthy.
But instead of just sitting his son down and having a real talk with him, what did he do? Father-son adventure. So instead of, the father, we learn from our parents, instead of having the approach of sitting down and talking.
You got 30 seconds left.
What? That's it? What? 2 minutes is that? What are you talking about? This 2 minutes, that was not 2 minutes.
Got 20 seconds left.
That's not 20. Long story short, boy lies to a girl. Son Father lies to son. Everyone lies, but they come together with the power of family. Usher, Chris Brown, they dance on the stage. Girl still loves boy. Father and son.
And you're
moments.
done. You're done.
That wasn't 2 minutes.
That was, man.
That one. I
We
don't
started at
believe-
8:46.
And it should be 8:48.
No, we just stopped at 10:46.
I'm confused.
That's 2 minutes.
I gotta check your math.
I
I gotta check.
8:46 plus 2 minutes is 10:46.
Okay.
Love the editorializing, by the way. It's a minute and a half of Boy Meets World. That was good. All right, you want to jump into that quiz question?
Let's go to that quiz question.
All right. What? Don't care about that. What 3 people is Powerline based off of?
Oh, that's easy. Tevin Campbell, Usher,
Who and
Michael
Campbell?
Jackson, the guy who sings the song.
Okay.
Tevin Campbell's a singer.
Okay.
I would say, if it's not Usher, it's Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I don't want to say W.D. Du Bois.
Hootie and the Blowfish?
Broody and the Blowfish. Who the fuck is that? No, what's his name? Bobby Brown.
Okay.
A new addition.
So there's like 5 people you
I
listed.
know.
You got like 2 right. You're missing 1.
Ooh!
You're missing 1. You got to stay tuned.
Okay.
All right. We're going to jump straight into characters.
Okay.
Oh no, I forgot to record something for the characters. So here's something. Characters. Who are they? What are they doing? I don't know what. For this, we're just going to list off our top characters, explain why. And when one person lists their character, the other person cannot choose that. Kind of a new thing for us as the Backseat Critics, but we're giving it a shot.
Can I go first then?
Sure.
My favorite character is Maximilian.
I hate you so much. Because I was like 100% like, yeah, Max is going to be mine, but nope.
Yeah, I have to take him before you. Actually, I don't find. If you want to take Max,
No, go for it, man.
No, I'll take.
You already said Max.
All right,
That's all good.
I'll take Maximilian because I feel like my story is like Max growing up, where you get he's tired of being on the bottom of the totem pole at school. He's trying to grow up. He's in high school.
So did you ever go on stage and like do a little song and dance?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a video?
Of course, I was juggling like 3 beanbags and I was singing Casey and JoJo.
Dude, I got to see this.
Hey, 5th grade was a wild year. So the reason why I like Max a lot is because I feel like he is like the epitome of like young male adolescence. And like, I know where you get into it, but like when you're wanting to fit in, the little lies and little things you will
just
say.
kind of like make yourself seem a little bit cooler than you actually are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And him really, in this journey and story about him really connecting with his father, and then him really learning that him being him is what really matters and what's really seen.
Yeah.
Is like something I feel like I really like about Max, because I feel like we all go through that.
He was the most fleshed out the character. I mean, being that he's a protagonist. I mean, yeah, but yeah. Super relatable.
Exactly.
I hate you, man.
Oh, who's your character there, pal?
So I am going to go a different route here. Maybe. I'm going to go with Powerline.
Ooh.
Dude owns the screen every single time he's on screen. He's all over the place. His costume itself and the hairdo, that's wild. That's wild. He starts singing that final song, and I'm like up there. It's like, yeah.
If you listen to each other's heart.
I had a little tear coming down my eyes. I was doing a little jig. But also, most importantly, he was the most important character in the movie. The whole plot revolves around getting to Powerline.
I will give you that. I disagree, but I disagree.
He kickstarts the movie. He's trying to impress a girl by saying, what? I have an in with Powerline? They're trying to get to Powerline the whole movie?
I think that's the surface level plot of
Oh,
it.
100%, yes.
Okay, it's the surface
I'm
level.
taking what I can get because somebody's took Max.
Huh?
Anyways, what's number 2?
My number 2, I would have to say, because I hope it said, is motherfucking Roxanne.
Really?
Roxanne.
Huh. Okay.
The
Go
reason why I pick Roxanne is
because you're like, I'm Cartier Bob and she's cute.
no, I have this like
Dude, I've seen your phone background. It's Roxanne.
you can chill with that. You can chill with that. I can just say
It's you with a Photoshop picture of your arm around Roxanne.
I've
seen
not
it.
not at all.
100% seen
Not
it.
at all. The reason why I chose
Was it Jessica Rabbit?
stop. What's your internet history over there, man?
Hey, I'm speaking without my lawyer.
The reason why I say Roxanne is because, like, you know, I don't know what your second and third character is going to be, but I feel like anytime I talk about the Goofy movie, I really don't talk about Roxanne. And, like, when we talk about pivotal characters, I feel like Roxanne is equally as pivotal to the story, even though she doesn't have that many scenes. The scenes that she's in is very powerful because I look at today's rhetoric of, like, being like a high value man and high value woman and blah blah blah, and like when it really irons itself out, it's really like we both need each other. And like I like Roxanne Staple because like in the small scenes that she's in, she exudes what a well informed woman should be, where like she knows what she wants. I remember that super cool dude was like, "Hey Roxanne."
Oh, yeah, he's got like the fingerless gloves.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
Exactly. He's like, "Hey Roxanne, look, I'm really interested in you."
You going to that party on Friday?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, man.
And she's like, a scrub.
Yeah.
And then even still, we're like, I think she already knew Max didn't know Powerline, and because she was already invested, she was like, okay. And then
Yeah, she bought into it.
she bought into it, but like by him telling the truth at the end, I think she appreciated that more than
100%.
anything.
100% agree.
Because she's like, I like your she
Yep. She
I
loves
was
to laugh.
like-
Wait. Do that again. Wait, do that again. All right, I'm going to abuse that.
Please do. And I think as a culture, we like, even though I really wish like if they would do Goofy, even though that's not the main focus of the Goofy movie, I really wish they would just flush a little bit more out. But the times that she was in there, she like those moments like are so pivotal to youth and love.
I absolutely appreciated that she wasn't just like a flat character that was there as like an object goal for the guy. Like she actually had a personality. She actually had problems. Like she was nervous about first approaching Max when he was in the principal's office. And like she had her little weird relationship with the dad who was just we've all met.
Who's gonna be like me? Calm down, Dad.
Really? That's going to be you?
Yeah.
I was looking at that. I was like, wow, that's costs 5 years. 5 years.
That's actually. I'm gonna be crazy about my kids, and when they get into relationships, no matter the gender, I feel obviously I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna do things differently, but like, I think we don't really understand how powerful it is, and how like a learning opportunity is when people like find love at a young age.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's something to do, but it's like I want my son or daughter in the future to be very intentional. Like you're gonna make mistakes, but like this is as important as taking the SAT, because love can break you, an SAT score can break you.
100%. Yeah.
So it's just like,
I mean, the thing is, you could always, find love again. The SAT score, I don't know if you can really retake.
nah, you can retake it.
Oh, you can retake that.
Yeah, IQ
Okay.
test. You like in your face.
In your face. My number, we're on 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My number 2 is going to be Goofy.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, that was gonna be my number 3 if you didn't say.
The dude's a staple of the movie. He's the dad character. He's doing his best trying to do the best for his son. Well-meaning, but he's got bad advice from his boss, coworker. I'm
Friend.
not entirely sure what that relationship is. I'm not sure. But yeah, he's trying to do the best for his son. He's trying to do something that worked well for him and his dad and grandfather by taking him going fishing in Idaho of all places. By the way, did you see we'll come to this. We'll come back to this. We'll come back. Anyways, he was just like, I loved how his character was just like, he was trying to be supportive of Max and trying to still like maintain that relationship with Max. And it was like, that was nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice to see we're in this day and age of, because I don't want to say this because it's very prevalent in the world. I feel like it doesn't get broadcasted as much. It is like positive male role models where
Yeah, exactly.
out there, they're just not broadcasted more than the toxic version of it.
The very like machismo, chest beating kind of, yeah.
Exactly, where like there's a lot of good fathers and father figures I don't want to discount in male mentors. It's just like, I'll be honest, that doesn't sell.
No.
It doesn't sell. Like, people want you to be the certain way, and you don't have to. And like, I really liked Goofy, where like he's like, I'm gonna go fish with my son.
Yeah.
Like,
So innocent, like, intentions, and like his kind of evolution over the movie of like where he learns that Max lied to him and he's like, oh, are we going left or are we going right? And waiting for that, and it's like, oh, it's pivotal. He just shouts left, and you just see like Goofy's face just sinks and just like utter disappointment. You're like, oh man.
Oh man,
I was gonna go to this movie without crying.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. So
Movie was pulling it on me.
Hey, I don't know about you, but in my life, like, very recently, someone asked me like, what are my life goals, and one of my life goals is to be a good father.
Gotta be like Goofy.
Maybe. Maybe.
Anyways, what's your number 3?
Man, this is tough. Number 3 is tough. I think this is fair because we went for like, I feel like we both hit up like main and non-main characters. So I'm gonna hit up a somewhat non-main character.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna combine both of them because
Both of them? You're choosing 2?
I'm choosing 2, but they're one because they come together because they serve the purpose of 2. 2 people serve the purpose of 1, and it's Max's friends, Pete and I don't want to say, I call him Cheddar. I'm forgetting his name.
Oh, I hate you. Okay.
I'm forgetting his name.
Bobby.
Okay, thank you.
So it's PJ and Bobby?
Yeah,
that you're
PJ
choosing?
and Bobby.
Oh, man, I hate you.
I'm choosing them both together.
I hate you.
Because a guy's friend circle is very pivotal too as well.
Yeah.
Where like Max couldn't have got on stage
Without them. 100%, yeah.
He wouldn't have figured out how to navigate the road trip without PJ.
Right.
Like, and I feel like we ride together, we die together, bad boys for life. They have positive, negative influences, and like I feel like they showed like the full circleness of like friendship.
Yeah.
And like they didn't shun him for like liking Roxanne and being like, how can we help you?
Super supportive with whatever Max wanted to do, which is like, that's the friends you want. Yeah.
Yeah, supportive.
Yeah. I hate you for choosing Bobby. Because if you didn't, that was going to be my number 3.
I swear that's your number 3.
Hey, no. We're all good. I'm just scrolling through here, just finding my number 3. Some jerk decided, hey, I'm going to choose 2.
Because, like, they both have, like, minimal roles, and it's, like, very small. Like, you got a tech genius, you got a abused kid.
The tech genius that's definitely a stoner that they were dancing around.
With cheese.
Just like cheese. Dude got a cheese high and was just like, he was living it.
He's like, do you have the stuff?
Yeah.
Lay it on me. Cheddar.
And he would just like dump it down his throat in the face that Max and PJ gave him, where it's just like,
when he coughed on them?
Yeah.
With the cheese.
We've all had that friend. RJ.
RJ, he coughing with cheese on people? Ew.
Every episode. Man, you're leaving me like nobody here.
There's a plethora of characters.
I know, but I was kind of dancing around one, so I'll go with the guy. I'll go with the guy, Pete, the dad.
Okay. I said it's okay. Yep, there we go.
I'm choosing him because he's the only other character left other than the principal that
No, he's
has
not.
more than 2 lines.
No, there's other characters.
The
security guard.
But I felt like Pete was actually like a good.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't like an antagonist, really. He was just. This actually movie didn't really have an antagonist, which I appreciated. It was just like a character study, but I appreciated Pete as that kind of toxic influence on the dad, on Goofy, on like, here's some bad advice. He's that overbearing. You will do what I say, or else I'm the dad. So whatever I say goes. Like that's the kind of, which is a real thing that people experience. So like, it was interesting to see that in like movie form and just kind of handled the way that they handled it. So I'm just saying he's my number 3 because it was interesting as a character.
You should have chose Bigfoot.
I was going to, but I was like, I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Great choice. Fear itself.
Fear itself?
Bigfoot.
We'll come back to Bigfoot. All right, you want to dive into scenes?
We could dive into scenes.
We're off to talk about scenes.
What's happening?
The magical
What is going
wizard
on?
of scenes.
I'm so confused. Everything. All right, same thing with scenes. You choose the scene, the other person cannot choose it.
Okay. My favorite scene.
Why are you going first, my man?
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
One of my all-time favorite scenes is literally them at the gym and he's doing like standout.
Oh, yeah.
And like his hand goes out to Roxanne, and like I feel like
the energy that
I'm
just like
my boy is winning. He's winning. And then like
even when he gets caught, she smiles and stuff, and it's like, oh man.
And then when they take the glasses off him, it's the Goof Boy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
Okay.
One of my favorite scenes.
It's a fantastic scene.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great way to like introduce that kind of initial conflict drive of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Because like you could
They're
really
infatuated with Powerline. He's infatuated with her. Super simple, one scene, and it's explained away super easily. It was so well done.
love that scene.
So my number 1 scene. I'm actually going to go, we already talked about this, but that right or left. Yeah. Such a pivotal moment in the movie. And when Goofy like pulls over at that little cul-de-sac kind of roundabout.
Yeah.
And they have that little kind of back and forth with each other, and then it escalates. Like, that was such a good scene. Just kind of exploring that dynamic where like Max lied to him and then also like led him to the left, which was towards LA rather than Idaho, which, I mean, let's be honest, I think we'd rather go to LA. No shade on our Idaho listeners, but California, Idaho, I mean, I'm going to California. Just saying. But that was such a pivotal moment for like both Max and Goofy, who were like the main characters of this. So like that for me was like the number 1 scene.
I like that scene a lot too as well, and actually just dropping some more knowledge where you can edit that out. Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to
Edit it out. So recently I was talking with one of my my elder sisters, and she was talking to me about like when you become a parent, even when your kids do wrong, like still showing love for them when they're like like you still care for this person, because like when
Right.
you're singular and you're like, I made the mistake, you can always be like, oh, it's on me. But like when kids are like, I think I can share this on here. She was like, my sister keeps like a very clean living room.
Okay.
So she has like the little ones not inside of the house, or not. I shouldn't say that, inside the house, not in the living room.
Okay, I'm
My
like,
bad.
see her kids outside.
My bad.
So many questions.
I said that wrong. Not in the living room. And
Okay.
like one of my little nieces went inside, and
She keep them in the kitchen with the knives.
of course,
Okay.
she like was inside like living room, was like on the couch, and like a lamp fell.
Yeah.
It didn't get broken, and then my sister, redirected and was like, y'all can't come into the living room, like go somewhere else in the house. And then she came down, she's like, I'm so upset at you. I want a new family. I want a family that's gonna let me be in their living room. And like she went to her room,
Right.
and like
How old was she?
she's like 6.
Okay.
She's just getting out
Okay.
she's like getting out of kindergarten.
Gotcha.
So like she was telling me that, and like she was like, my sister was like, oh yeah, you're not gonna be in the living room because you're all doing that. And she's like, when she said that to her, how much that like hurt her, and like how she knew she needed to like set that discipline with her, and like even still that happened. It was like crazy. Where it's like she's like, people don't understand, like that's literally you walking around,
Gotcha.
and like that's just different.
That's so different.
So like I can understand and get into like the psychology of Goofy, where like he's not gonna totally disown his son,
No.
but like I know you're doing the wrong thing.
I appreciated how he left it up to Max in the end. He was upset over it, disappointed, but like really upset over it. But he's like, okay. He knew which way he needed to go. And he's like, which way are we going, Max?
Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
My second scene, I would say that was I don't want to see, because I don't know what you're gonna say, because I'm like, I have a third scene idea, so that's why I'm like, this new one is like interesting, new way to do it. So I would say my second scene, I feel like that is iconic and hilarious.
Oh, don't you dare.
Is Lester's Possum House.
Okay, we're safe.
Okay.
We're all good.
Okay, Lester's
We're all
Possum
good.
House.
There's about to be a throwdown.
Okay. I just choose this scene because it's just purely funny to me.
Right.
So Lester's Possum House is like this like off-brand like idea that Goofy has to
If you've ever traveled across the U.S., 100% you stop there.
Okay, exactly. And like,
It's so
you've been?
not too like you've been to like side of the road attractions that have that kind of energy.
I think it's iconic because in that whole scene before he slapped the dog shit out of Lester was like Goofy, Max being like, I gotta take over this trip. Like,
Yeah. This is out of control. We're at like this weird like Chuck E. Cheese situation with like the cast of Deliverance. Like, what's going on?
the animatronics. he's like
The girl next to him with the biggest eyes.
yeah.
Just mouth breathing, just pupils.
Give Lester a hug. He's like,
slaps.
That's what you just had it.
Yeah.
Being on family trips and like, especially like, that scene sits well with me because I don't know how many like family trips I've been on, and like you're just like, I didn't want to come.
Me now.
You're like, we're at this place I never thought of, and sometimes it turns out that
Why am I at a palace of corn?
Exactly. Sometimes you get the feeling of, oh, this is an experience that I relish, and this you're like, I knew this was going to be horrible.
Yeah.
And it was that.
It was that.
Yeah. So that was my scene, Lester's Possum House.
Okay. We dodged a bullet here
Okay.
because I was about to whoop you if you chose this scene. I'm talking about that first camping scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll cut off the scene when they're first being chased by Bigfoot.
Okay.
So where they're setting up, they're initially trying to like fish. Max is kind of like aloof. And then Pete and PJ roll up in the RV and just like unload. And that's if you've ever been camping, there are those people. And not to that extent, but like, why even out here, man?
Hey,
just like get a hotel.
Hey, sometimes you want to have the best of both worlds.
But yeah, that was like, even when I was a kid, I loved that scene because I'm like, I kind of want that RV.
Exactly.
I kind of want that RV.
It like, okay, we love
It's shameful, but like, come on, bowling alley on top.
Chop them trees down quick.
Gotta make room for my pool so I can swim laps right next to a river.
Hey,
the fact it just like parks right over Goofy's like little tent, and he's just putting it up, and the whole thing just cleanly goes over the tent without even touching it. Was a perfect like size comparison of just like to show how small and innocent Goofy's little trip was.
yeah, he was like a dictator, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He gave me some. We're talking about Pete, right?
Yeah.
He gave me some vibes of someone I know.
Oh wow, RJ, crazy.
So I was gonna say AJ, but
Whoa, you're a crazy guy over there.
But anyways, what's your number 3?
My number 3
or 2?
It was my number 3.
You're right. Yeah, I'm losing count.
My number 3 would have to be the waterfall scene, and it's the perfect cast.
My God, the water animation in that was so good. The line work on the waves, you could follow little peaks of the waves down. Anyways.
Oh, no. Hey, see, that's why I've learned a lot with being more of your friend and hanging out with you and also doing work with you, where like you have a different eye than when I look at a show where like I find myself looking at stuff that you would look at that I've never looked at before. And like, that's the stuff where I'm like, oh, I noticed, where I'm like, for, quick side note, where like Into the Spider-Verse, the second one, where I'm like, oh, I looked at that, even though I always look at story first. And then I'm like, oh, I could see why, it's taking a while for the animators, because they're doing a lot of stuff.
It's so much just line work and shading and stuff. It's crazy the amount of work that goes into this.
But the reason why I chose that one, the perfect cast, is because I feel like the Goofy movie is a movie that was ahead of its time and will always be timeless to me, because I feel like, once again, because that's something I mentioned in this podcast, something I'm very like adamant about, is like the relationships fathers have in their sons' lives, where if it's and when I mean natural in the sense of, your parents birth your kids, and then your parents get old, you take care of your parents, and then, they go to the great beyond, things like that, where like, I feel like in this day and age, there's a lot of kids who are having to put parental roles on themselves and be a parent. And it was like really cool to see Goofy in so many ways make a sacrifice for his kid, and his kid using what he taught him to like not man up in the sense of like, oh, you need to be in like this will help you as you grow. Like, I'm doing this to you to pass on.
It's like a selfish act in order to help someone else like be a better them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or like, because Disney has the ability to make this like a whole thing, or I'm pretty sure Max will share that.
There's a second movie.
That's horrible. Very horrible.
Stay tuned.
Very horrible. So I'll just say, I like that scene, because when he saved his dad, like, I can see the genuine-esque, because that's when they show up to the Powerline concert.
Yeah.
Like, when the father and son's on the same page, unstoppable.
Committing crimes, trespassing, breaking and entering. I guess there was no breaking.
Shout out to Loaf.
Meatloaf?
No.
It's weird taste, dude.
No, this YouTuber, I just found out about him. Like, he, like, does, like, it's a whole thing. It's
no,
like
man, go into it. Go into it.
Lofe. Like, he's, like Gideon? Okay. I'll explain. I don't want to derail the process. Like, they do, like, pranks and shit. Like, go to Walmart, or, like, they'll do a prank of, like, they got banned from all the Walmarts.
Okay.
And then they dressed up in Star Wars, because they said the Force is unbalanced, and they want to balance the the war between YouTubers and Walmart. So they go to the Walmart headquarters to be like, hey, you want to lodge a complaint? And they're wearing like Obi-Wan Kenobi robes. What? It's actually really funny.
All right.
You're like, what the fuck is going on? That's the same thing happened to me this weekend. He's like a solid guy, but like he tests his boundaries.
Okay.
But like in like a cool way.
Okay. 100%. I thought you were talking about Meatloaf for a bit. I'm
No.
like, whoa, this is a new side of Rob I did not expect.
No, there's no Loaf. He's part of like the pranking YouTuber culture, but like he
Gotcha.
like has his own way of doing it.
Okay.
Like so, like Gideon like went to a WNBA game.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't sleep on the WNBA. So like he brought like a pillow and a cover and slept in the courtside seats.
Okay.
So like they'll do like
Stuff
shit
like
like
that?
that.
Okay. My number 3
Number 3.
is going to be an extension of my number 2,
Okay.
which is the Bigfoot scene. But the latter part where they're stuck in the car. And he's cooking up that soup. They have that nice touching moment where it's like, we're talking alphabet soup. He'd write like, hi, Dad, or whatever. And the son would be like, oh, you mean like hyperbole or like whatever. And they're throwing words back and forth. And then finally he like leaves him a little can or cup and it says, hi, Dad. Man, somebody was in that room cutting onions with me because like I'm there like, oh God, no. That got me right in the feels. I needed that. It was a good scene.
Yeah.
The pacing of it was so good too.
That was a good one.
Yep. That's why I wanted to split that up. Plus a Bigfoot. He's fun.
I figured when I said we should do this, I figured Bigfoot would be like, you would bring that up. So I was like, please take that away. Like,
Been kind of dancing around that, but that scene, the hi dad with this cup of soup, I'm just like there, just allergy season. Anyways, let's dive into what moments. I'm sorry, what?
It's the home improvement. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? What was that?
my what moments is...
Hey, no.
Oh.
You got to say it right.
My what moments
Jesus, this guy's trying to show me up over here.
is after he gets... So after my first what moment
Thank you.
is after he gets suspended
Okay.
and he's leaving the school and they're like, Max. And like the song starts back again from After Today.
Yeah.
And like everyone like finally notices him and he's like, yeah, I'm a big guy on campus now. People are noticing me. And I'm just kind of like, that took me back to high school of like, moments like that didn't happen, but like I remember like after a fight and somebody like won a fight.
Just
like in
that
high
kind of
school,
energy.
Just they're like, yeah, there we go. They're like, Max.
Testosterone's a weird thing, man.
Man, you have like the after fight glow, like, oh, you won that fight, man. That's crazy. So
Everyone's your friend.
hey, so like I remember that. So that's do I get more what moments?
Of course, you get 3.
Okay.
Total. You get 3 total. So my number one what moment's kind of a detail here. Come on, what is with that shrug?
I was going to make sure.
Yeah, no, I know I didn't say it right. Doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
Is when he first pulls out the map of the U.S.
That's a good
There's like
one.
the whole eastern seaboard is just like marked off with "Don't go here" or something written over it. I want to know why. Just the whole East Coast is just like, nope.
They don't recycle.
There's a lot of things they don't do, but I was just like, what's the story there? What's Goofy and his family got against the East Coast?
Maybe Mickey and Donald live there.
The folks we see on the side of the street earlier.
Exactly.
All right. But yeah, no, that's my what moment. Because that threw me the first time I saw that. Gave me that like Always Sunny vibe, if you've ever seen that, where Mac is trying to figure out where he's going to take his boat, and he just slowly crosses off everything on the map except Philadelphia.
I haven't seen Sunny.
Always Sunny?
Always Sunny. Yeah, Always Sunny Philadelphia. I hear great things about it.
It's super good.
My next what moment, it would definitely have to be there's so many pictures from this movie where I was like, I'll say my what moments was when they first started the road trip
Okay.
and like everyone was like dancing.
Oh, the start of the movie or the...
No, start of the road trip of the movie when they first got on the road and they did the song.
Oh, and everyone's dancing in the cars?
Mm-hmm.
You've got the nuns and the...
All that.
Yeah.
What is going on? On the open road. Yes, people, I know all these songs. I love this fucking movie.
This movie is fantastic.
So like the dead person coming alive and the nuns, the like.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about the dead person. I noticed that during. I'm like, that's going to be a what moment. Totally went right through.
Sorry. So
Dude, don't worry about it. I got plenty of others.
So that was my
Okay. My number 2 what moment is going to be the Mickey Mouse phone that he's got. Because because like he's got a phone in his room with like a little like 12-inch statue of Mickey Mouse on top. And then later it's kind of like touched on that like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy like know each other. And we see Mickey and Donald on the side of the street later in the movie during that song moment that you were talking about. I just want to know who has a 12-inch statue of their dad's friends on a phone.
Hey, he helped pay for the house.
So would you get a phone with a 12-inch statue of Koss and leave that right by your bedside?
Of course.
See, you're a good friend.
Gotta let them know I care. And you know that one thing they did during the presidential election, they were like, who's gonna be in the office at 2 a.m. to pick up the phone?
Oh yeah.
I want them to know that if it costs 2 a.m. I'll pick up the phone. Hello, do you need me?
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So you want his little statue standing right next to you?
Exactly. So it's a reminder that I
It's
made
Koss.
a promise.
Okay.
At 2 a.m. I'm gonna be there.
Okay. It's really weird that you would have a statue of him.
Of course.
But anyways, that was my what moment, because it's not too often you see somebody with a statue of their dad's friend just lording over you while you sleep.
Hey, maybe mental health.
That's not helping, man. That's not helping.
My final what moment is a little bit darker
Okay.
in the movie, and it is one of my favorite. I should say one of my favorite lines. I just remember it a lot. It's when the principal called Goofy. He's like, "Your son is a delinquent." He said all like,
Your son's going to start a riot.
exactly like he added
He's
like
using like all these fiery rhetoric.
exactly.
It's crazy.
It's instead of just telling the story of what happened, like he added more sauce onto it.
This dude is editorializing when he shouldn't.
Exactly. And like when he's like, your son's gonna end up in the electric chair, I was like,
Woo!
yo, I'm pretty sure worse things happened at your school. He took over the assembly. And so like
He sung a song. How dare he?
Like, don't get me wrong, we're like, that was wrong what Max did, but like, it's just like the power of our tongues and the power of like, I think it's like
Just like bad rhetoric.
Bad rhetoric, but I think I'm saying this wrong. It's not like implicit bias. It's not. I think it's like the bystander effect, where like sometimes you're like you're looking at. I don't think it's even the bystander effect. We're like, how sometimes we're counting a story, like you add more stuff to it.
Yeah, to kind of like fluff it out and make it seem worse and more interesting than it actually is.
Exactly.
My dad knows Powerline.
So I try to do a lot of like saying exactly what happens. Like I do a lot of that practicing, especially like when you have that power in your life, day-to-day life, of like people like hang on your word, whether it's career or you have a lot of influence. I can see how damaging that could be. So I always try to put myself in the center of like, all right, what exactly happened verbatim of my feelings, their feelings of like, oh, this car got hit. It looked like you were on your phone. I know I wasn't on my phone. Like, what's going on here?
Right.
So when he said that to me, anytime I watch that movie, it always triggers me to go back into where I'm like, it wasn't as bad as he was saying.
No. There's a trap door.
He was pissed. I can understand trap door. I want him out of here.
Yeah. I get that. But like the singing the song, Oh man, my number 3 what moment? Oh man, I didn't think this one through.
Damn.
And you took the dead person. You took the dead person. Man.
I can always help you out. I have another wet moment.
You know what? Well, I'm thinking. You go for it.
A quick wet moment. My quick wet moment is the security at the fucking concert. I say, what's going on? literally.
Right?
Like, literally. Or not even security. I'll even take it further. Powerline having a concert and a heckler coming on stage and just doing his dance.
I was actually thinking about that being my number. Was going to be that dance where like Goofy drops down and Max is like, "Hey, do that famous fly fishing, like
do the perfect cast.
Do the perfect cast." He does it, and Powerline's like, "Yeah, okay, cool. We'll just vibe with this. Like that's, yeah." And it's just like, you serious right now? There's no concerns about this. This dude just fell from the ceiling.
He'd be tackled
right
immediately.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. Also, that whole Bigfoot scene. Beginning to end. What is Bigfoot doing here? Hey. Is he one of them? He looks like one of them.
Bigfoot just want a steak.
Bigfoot was weird, man. What? Say it.
Oh, no. It's just like,
Go for it.
No, it's fine.
Go for it.
I was like the Bigfoot, mysterious and hilarious and hungry.
So hungry.
Reminds me of Critics,
Anyways, final thoughts.
Of the movie?
Yeah.
I think it's a timeless movie. I think it was something that will stand the test of time as long as human society lasts. Wasn't able to really talk about it here, but shout out to Donald Glover. There was a episode on
Atlanta?
Yep, Atlanta, and he kind of like went into the history of how the Goofy movie was made.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that everyone should watch because the Goofy movie was really, and I feel like the reason why it's such a good movie, it's literally a father's message to his son because he knew he wasn't going to be there due to mental health and allegedly things going on at Disney. But I'll just say this because I'll say this Goofy movie, how it ended, was not supposed to end that way. It's supposed to end a vastly different way.
Really?
Yes.
How? Dude, dive in.
It was supposed to, please check out the Atlanta season 4 episode. It was supposed to end with like a lot of Black Power stuff and how Goofy,
really interesting.
The Goofy creatures are black people and like the Goofy movie was created from a black creator because, like, in college, he used to draw, like, those memes of, like, Goofy?
Yeah.
He started that.
Interesting.
So that's how he got on at Disney. So
Interesting.
He owned Disney for a little bit of time, allegedly. Don't want to get this taken down. So, like, it was just, like, a really good story, but, like, he had, like, a mental breakdown, and, like, it was depicted him being, like, a really good father and with his son, but, like, he got so ingratiated to making this movie. His, unfortunately, he subjected his wife to a lot of different things, and, like, I think he was so invested in his movie, like, he lost himself, and then, like, the power or whatever goes on at Disney. But closing thoughts is, I feel like when it comes to, like, the mental health or, like, autism, Asperger's, all that different stuff and things, I really think that when those kids are really invested in stuff and they can, like, count from, like, 1 million by 7, like, that's a way of, like, showing love. Where, like, this movie was for his son.
It's for his son. Okay.
And, like, you could feel that love, like, those, like, hi dad moments. I feel like that was him.
It was so personal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he knew he wasn't going to make it.
I did not know that about the movie. This was one of my, like, childhood favorites as a kid. And it's got, like, that kind of, like, human touch to it. It's not just, like, hero with sword versus bad guy.
Yeah.
It's not Hercules versus Hades. No shade on Hercules because I love that movie, but
one of my favorite movies as well.
100%. But it's not that. It's like there's no actual antagonist. It's just this really nice personal character study between the father and son. Neither one is, like, really doing things right, but they're trying to do kind of the best for each other, and that's interesting, and I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
So, solid recommend.
Can I say one thing? Because you brought up Hercules.
Yeah.
The Disney edition.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines, no matter what, is when Hades is losing to Hercules after he came back.
Yeah.
And it's after the Zero to Hero song.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like, so you mean to tell me I got 24 hours to kill this guy and you are wearing his merchandise? I'm sorry.
He's got the hat and stuff on.
And
yeah.
the sneakers, the Air
I
Hercs.
forgot the sneakers, yeah.
Air Hercs. I'm sorry. I just enjoy that shit. Sorry. Derailed the whole. Hey, when you all
Freaking
make
love
it this
that
far,
movie.
that shit is so funny.
90s, early 2000s Disney. So good.
They cared.
Huh?
They cared back then.
They cared. They cared so much. Emperor's New Groove. So good.
Gronk.
Princess and the Frog.
Princess, that was cool.
I enjoyed that one.
I was mid for me. It was cool.
Everything since then?
They've got Disney.
I actually haven't seen Moana, so I can't speak to that. No?
Hey,
Hey, somebody's over there shaking his head, so we should go to the quiz question. Okay, so the quiz question was, did I lose it? What 3 characters, people, I said characters, that was bad. Oops. Is Powerline based off of?
New Edition.
No.
Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Bobby Brown.
Yes.
I can't remember the other one.
Prince.
Ah, fuck.
Yep.
I wasn't that off. I know my stuff.
You're pretty close.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got the Prince and Michael Jackson. Bobby Brown I missed completely.
Yeah, before he was doing the stuff.
And with that, it's another episode of the Backseat Critics.
Oh.
If you want to find us, we're at the Backseat Critics on Instagram or YouTube. Or if you want to find Rob's podcast, Cadaver Rob,
It's Cartier Bob.
you can find him
This is how you treat guests.
Do you not?
I treat guests nicely.
I've been very polite this whole time.
Hey, I got this podcast that I do from time to time. It's called the Play No Games Podcast. And
Cavalier Cobb's a hard name to pronounce.
Cartier Bob. Like, comment, subscribe. That's where you can find me there. Play no games.
We'll link it in the notes below.
Please do.
100%.
And you're now listening to the Backseat Critics.
We out. All right. Thank you.
No problem.